A common theme that we've been following here, covering express keys and touch strips, is that we're enabling ourselves to be more productive. Well, a pop-up menu is another way of extending that productivity. What you can do here is create a context-sensitive pop-up menu to show up in any application. So let's go ahead and show you how you can set one up for Photoshop. As I've clicked on the pop-up menu tab, we're greeted with pop-up items. Now, by default, there are two items in this menu, pen and mouse. These are essentially changing your pen and mouse modes, and we've talked about that a little bit earlier. But I don't really particularly find them very useful for my workflow, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Remove a couple of times to get rid of them, and then I'm going to go to Add under the drop-down menu and select Keystrokes. And we're just going to add a couple of hypothetical things that we might want to assign to a context-sensitive pop-up menu, such as, well, increasing levels or modifying or adjusting levels. Command or Control L would be the keyboard shortcut for that. So I click OK after hitting Command or Control L, and now I'll name it Adjust Levels. And let's try another one. How about Command or Control M? Add keystroke. Command or Control M. That will adjust curves. Click OK. Let's see here. How about hue and saturation? Command U. I'll just call this Adjust Hue Sat. Let's see here. Those are keyboard shortcuts. How about our favorite actions? Now, I don't have any set up on this particular system, but if I went to add keystroke and let's say I assigned an action to, let's just say F1. If I hit F1, I click OK, and let's just say this was convert to black and white. Or how about one of my favorite ones here, add keystroke. This is a longer one. Command Option Shift E or Control Alt Shift E. This one I call Merge All to a New Layer. This essentially would flatten your image, but doing so on a separate layer. Merge All to New Layer. There we go. Click OK. So again, you can really get creative with what you add to a pop-up menu. I'll just add one more. Let's say a keystroke here, and maybe we select, I'm just going to select B for the brush tool. And as you can see here, anything that you can assign a keyboard shortcut, you can add to a pop-up menu. And if for whatever reason you don't like the order in which you've entered them, why don't you just simply tap on one of these items and then drag it up in the list to change the order. Let me bring that one back down. I actually kind of like that one down there. So again, you can get really creative with these pop-up menus, and what I've found is it's almost an underutilized tool. So if you're not familiar with pop-up menu, I highly encourage you to consider using this. And incidentally, pop-up menu is something that you create, but then you need to start it up or invoke it. So if you recall when we covered express keys, as I tap back over to the express key area, we had assigned one of our pop-up or one of our buttons here for a pop-up menu. So now when I jump back over to Photoshop, let me minimize this, go back to Photoshop and open up an image. As my cursor kind of hovers right around here in the center of the image, when I press the button on the side of my tablet, the express key that I've assigned to pop-up menu, you'll see that the context-sensitive menu that we just created shows up. Now all I need to do is click on the one that I'd like to select. Let's say Adjust Hue Sat, and then let's adjust the saturation of this image to really bring some blue into the sky and warm up the red rock in Moab here. I'll go ahead and click OK. And there we go, we've got our adjustment. So again, you can have a laundry list of different actions or adjustments or various keyboard shortcuts right in that context-sensitive menu. Bring that back up once more so you can get the idea there. You can get as creative as you want with these types of menus, but they're a great way to, once again, increase your productivity by putting those tools that you use most often up front on the tablet. Absolutely love pop-up menu. So definitely check that out if you're not familiar with it. Again, I'll bring up my system preferences once more so you can see that. There they are. And again, great way to increase your productivity.